According to the 2011 census, more than 77 million households in India rely on kerosene for lighting. In remote areas, more than 44% of households still lack access to basic electricity. Even those villages that are fortunate enough to be connected to the grid, on an average, get less than 6 hours of power supply in a day. We're one of the fastest growing economies in the world, growing at just under 6% per annum. But still, access to sustainable electricity in our households remains a distant dream. Hello and welcome to DuPont Presents The Power of Shunya, Quest for Zero. I'm Manvi Dhillon, and today we're on a quest for innovators and companies that are looking at the bright side of this challenge, striving to achieve zero power losses and zero power deficits in even the most remote areas of India. Joining me now is a man who understands India's energy needs, an entrepreneur, a risk taker. His company, Mitra Energy, is powering India. Ravi Kailas, thanks very much for joining us on the Power of Shunya, Quest for Zero. Take stock of India's electricity sector for us and any significant developments in the last 10 years, good or bad.
Electricity sector is the most underdeveloped within the larger infrastructure space in India, if you're talking telecoms or roads or ports or airports. So India has a total generating capacity of about 250 gigawatts. For a similar population, to put things in context, China has about 1,200 gigawatts and is adding about 250 gigawatts each year.
You think of the remote parts of India, the villages that literally have no connect outside with the outside world. How specific are those challenges to India?
They are very important challenges for India. And I think that the centralization of this sector has been a key reason why these anomalies continue to exist. At the current rate of progress in going down to the lowest common denominator for access to power in India, we are significantly behind.
Science and technology. How large a role do you see science and technology playing in meeting the challenges of India's electricity sector? Can science and technology deliver the answers that we're looking for?
Science and technology and research is a key input for developing India's electricity sector. Some problems are unique to India. For example, delivering electricity to villages. There are over 150 million mobile phones in India that are charged with batteries because they do not have access to a reliable power supply at home. So there are some solutions that are very specific to India.
What about the demand-supply gap? What are the latest figures that you have, which you rely on, that really underline the demand-supply gap for electricity in India?
So when people speak of demand-supply for electricity in India, they speak about the deficit between contracted demand and what they're able to supply. So if a state utility says that I have agreements with so many buildings, so many industries to supply X number of gigawatts, I'm able to only supply less than that. So we say we have a 10% shortfall. But the real deficit is in the latent demand. India has one of the lowest per capita electricity usage in the world, including when we compare it to other third world countries. So the latent demand supply gap is somewhere to the order of 20 times of what is the actual power generated in India. So we are talking a factor of, just as if you see 15 or 20 years ago, there was an advertisement I saw that was taken out by the state monopoly in the telecom sector in India saying that telephones are available on demand. There is no more demand-supply gap. But after that, 800 million mobile phones came along. So it's a question of if you are able to take the service to the customer, provide it at an affordable price, is a very different demand that we see.
This is the Power of Shunya, Quest for Zero. If you had to express a vision in Shunya terms for India's electricity sector, what would you say?
The vision for Shunya for electricity should be zero people left without access to reliable electricity.
Ensuring energy availability is a key catalyst for economic and human growth. Rural India not only lacks access to electricity, but a significant population relies on firewood, animal dung, and agricultural residue for cooking and heating purposes. The national grid has been extended to large parts of the country, and many villages have even been electrified, but the electricity supply is erratic and unreliable. Bringing electricity to these unelectrified villages is Desi Power, a Bihar-based company that is providing a solution to this issue by generating electricity from agricultural residue. What's more, by bringing electricity to these villages, Desi Power is creating opportunities for micro enterprises that keep villagers from migrating to the big cities. Every day, Bhalu Devi gets up at the crack of dawn to finish her household chores. Later in the day, she takes on a much more challenging role, that of a power plant operator in Baharbari village in Araria district of Bihar.
हम सुबह आते हैं तो भूटा से रोशनी पैदा करते हैं, पूरे गांव में फैलाते हैं। हमको ये काम करने पर बहुत अच्छे लगता है।
Decentralized Energy Systems India Private Limited, better known as Desi Power, is committed to socio-economic development of villages in Araria district by providing them electricity through its power plants. What is the structure of Desi Power? It is a collaboration between Tara and DASAG. Walk us through exactly how this joint venture, this collaboration is arranged.
DASAG is it is a technology providing company, and it is mainly it is started by Dr. H.N. Sharon. He is our chairman also. So he is the whole and soul of the DASAG, and that is for the technology things. So DASAG had started a research thing with CGPL in IISc Bangalore, and they have now came to conclusion that this gasification can be done. And with Tara, we have tested this technology in Orchha first time. So we established our first power plant in Orchha in 1996.
What are the issues that you face in supplying electricity to remote villages in rural India?
Actually, in India, from after the independence, government had opted for the big industries and big electrical power station and all. In this process, they have ignored the villages, because all the grid passing over the village, but village are not getting the electricity. That is the very big gap. So when we entered into this field, we thought, why not we will try to set up a small power plant in the village with their own resources. We have to not carry your coal from Jharia to Araria. So it is just their own resources.
Based on biomass gasification, Desi Power runs on a variety of seasonal crop residue, such as hardwood, corn cobs, rice husk, and sugarcane toppings. Mr. Sharan, let's talk about the core technology that Desi Power is using to generate electricity. What is it?
Actually, this is called a biomass gasification. So fuel for this gasification is the waste wood. It comes from the cuttings of the tree and the agro residue. So we are using both the things, combining this raw material together, and it is we are putting it to the one equipment that's called a gasifier. It's a type of cylindrical thing. So we are putting this biomass to that, and it liberates a gas in the process, in the reactor, and that gas called the producer gas. So that producer gas, we are cleaning and cooling that gas in the process, and putting into the engine directly as a fuel, instead of diesel, instead of LPG, instead of any other fuel. This is the online gasification fuel for the engine. And
the engine is powering the homes.
The engine is generating, running the generator, And generators is liberating electricity. It is creating electricity. So we are supplying the electricity to the village.
2 years since Desipa has ignited a clean energy revolution in Bara village, many households can now carry on with their activities till late in the evening.
मैंने कहीं भी गया, कोई भी शहर गया, तो वहाँ देखा कि बिजली है। वहाँ फ्रिज का ठंडा पानी गर्मी में पी रहे हैं, वो टीवी देख रहे हैं। जब 2012 में ये पावर प्लांट यहाँ बारा गांव में जब लगा, तो वो हर तरह का सुविधा यहाँ हमको शहर की तरह मिला।
Desipa has lit the path for several micro-enterprises and livelihood opportunities for the local communities, making the district of Araria energy self-sufficient and powerful. How does the theme of Shunya relate to the work that you're doing at Desipa in electrifying rural India?
By providing the electricity, we are going to give the light to the household. We are facilitating the student to read in the evening and the off time. We are facilitating the women to work in their work hour can be increased. Also, we want to shun unemployment in the village by providing the electricity. Also, we want the good environment in the village by providing the electricity. So, electricity is the key for us to achieve the Shunya concept in the village.
We just saw one company that is committed to the idea of decentralized electricity solutions in remote parts of rural India that is lighting up the lives of many. After the break, witness a powerful collaboration that is harnessing the abundant light and energy of the sun to power India.